Good evening, everybody. We are live with Deuce to 7 single draw. This is a satellite to the Micro Millions Deuce to 7 game in 2 days' time on Thursday. This one is a 50-cent entry fee, and there are currently 3 entries available with 12 people playing in the tournament. So we will see how this goes at the moment. The tournament we're going into is the Micro Millions 69 $3.30 no limit single draw deuce to 7. This is a no limit for the record, and we're doing okay. We've been up, we've been down. It's pretty swingy on this. Deuce to 7 is not my best game. I play more limit triple draw than I do no limit single draw. But either way, I think I'm liking this hand. I'm going to call behind Time Cross's raise here, see what sort of a draw, and yeah, I'm going to stand pat. I've been told in single draw that anything, certainly a 9 is typically good off of one draw. Now, obviously, he could have hit, but that's typically going to be a good hand. So we're going to stand pat, and we're going to see what happens on the. We're going to see what happens post draw. Time Cross is betting just under half pot, which I think is a reasonable thing for us to call with a 98. I'm guessing that he's drawing to a better hand than we have. The question is whether he hit or not, and I think I'll just call and see. Yeah, 98 to a 97. So I mean, we're pretty close in there, and that's sort of what I was expecting to have seen come up. I really wasn't expecting a huge hand on his part, so that's sort of what I was. What came up is what I was expecting. So I think that if you look around, of course, you'll see some new digs around. I've got a slightly some new graphics coming up. I'm still experimenting with that, so might change slightly over the next little while. But I think I'm settling in on a format that I want to do these things in. Let me know if you've got any suggestions. Let me know in chat. Let me know in. That was actually, I should not have stood pat there. Obviously, I was kind of distracted by playing the. Was kind of distracted by being in here and playing this. So we're going to fold out from that, obviously, because we shouldn't even be in the hand. Not a very auspicious start for the streaming for this evening, but we'll see what happens. We have got a hand that I think we're just going to get rid of here. A couple aces. I can't really draw to anything super strong, so. We're just going to fold that one out with the ace queen and the pairs. We're not really we're never really in very good shape there. So going to fold that again. We need to get some chips in the middle pretty quick, but we're not desperate. Although my obviously my stack is smaller than a big blind, or smaller than 10 big bets now. So I do have to do something soon, eventually, I think. Right. I think this is one that we just go with. Frankly, I think we max out and pat with their 97 and close our eyes and hope for the best is, I think, the appropriate play here. I'm no deuce to seven expert, so I could be making horrible plays when I do things like this. But this is seems to be the most equitable way to use my chips. That is what few chips I still have left remaining in this tournament. KC's been defending us fairly regularly. KC's a player from Canada that I'm somewhat familiar with. I've played a fair bit, see him quite a bit in these odd non-hold'em type games. So yeah, I'm not really gonna play around too much with KC. I'm gonna certainly not gonna raise with a hand like I had there. Welcome to our viewers. Glad to have people around. We are playing, just as a reminder, we are playing a deuce to seven, no limit single draw. This is a satellite to the Micro Millions 69. It's a 50-cent buy-in. At 12 people entered, and there's 3 seats available. So should be kind of interesting. We'll see how that goes at the end of the. At the end, our chip stack is obviously pretty low at the moment. I don't really think that this is a hand that's worth putting my chips in with, so I think I'm just going to get rid of that, and we'll move on to the next hand and hope we get a better opportunity. This is one that I'm probably going to shove if it folds. When time cost doesn't fold, I can't really do anything else, but I'm going to fold now. Looks like we just went down to 6 players. I am last. But we are now at the final table of this deuce to seven. So anything can happen at this point. We can. I can easily shove and double up, and I'm not in quite as bad a shape anymore. And who knows? I shove and get called a couple of times, and we're laughing. So, for the record, I'm also sitting here watching the final table of the World Series of Poker main event. We're now down to heads up in that main event with Jakobsen versus Stevenson. Who'd have thought that Van Hoof would be gone before the heads up stage when we came into this with his massive chip lead, and for most of the rest of the final table, let's be honest, he was like a massive chip leader. So. Getting back to our deuce to seven, we've got a hand that we probably just want to get rid of. 3-6, Jack, Queen, King. I mean, I'm drawing 3 probably there if I want to draw any sort of reasonable hand. I think a lot of my draw strategies. One of the problems that I have with deuce to seven no limit single draw is that most of my deuce to seven strategy comes from limit triple draw, and I'm fairly certain that those are quite different games. He says with a sarcastic flat drawl. I don't think that obviously we're shoving this hand. Obviously, by the way, I think draw 1, get rid of our 5, and draw 1 to a reasonably good, like a very strong 9. I don't think we have much other choice with our chip stack, and this could get us 1,680 chips, which is, obviously not moving us up in anything, but it keeps us alive for a little while longer. So we toss that one. We get 97, 540 deuce. That's a pretty strong hand in single draw. Not when we're up against an 87, of course. So we are out in 6th place, which means we do not win our ticket to the Micro Millions. But I'm going to look for another one that is a similar similar thing, and we shall play some more. We shall play some more stuff with any luck. Let me have a look at what is running now. We don't have another Micro Millions satellite starting for half an hour or so for the deuce to 7. But what else do we have running here? When does the anti-up run? Bear with me while I look at games and see what's running out there. So I'm having some trouble finding a game that would be of interest to us. There's obviously lots of HoldEm running, but I'm not seeing a ton of non-HoldEm games. We do have actually a $1.05 5-card draw satellite coming up. When does the 5-card draw one? It runs at 4 a.m. my time. Part of the problem when I'm looking at the satellites, I like to play the mixed games, of course, but I have to look at when the actual tournament's running because I don't want to get into one that starts at like 4 a.m. in my time or whatever when I'm not going to be, when I'm typically not going to be around. Oh, well, that looks fun. Actually, if you guys want to bear with me for 10 minutes, or maybe I'll stop and come back in 10 minutes, there is a limit deuce to 7 triple draw game coming up, $2.20, that I think looks like fun. We will stick with our deuce to 7 theme, and we will move from no limit single draw to limit triple draw. I'll be back in 10 minutes, everybody. I'm going to stop the stream, but I will return.